Thank you, Allison. Iran's president going to college in New York today, and protests have already begun. David Lee Miller is live at Columbia with the latest.
Hi, Paige. We are outside Lerner Hall on the campus of Columbia University in just a few hours' time now, 1:30 East Coast time. That's when the Iranian leader is going to speak, and already there is some very intense security. Ahmadinejad actually arrived on Sunday, and he made a brief stop in Midtown at the Hilton Hotel. It was there while speaking in Farsi that he addressed a small group, talking briefly about his country's nuclear program. And on Tuesday, of course, he is going to be appearing before the United Nations General Assembly. But it is here at Columbia University that his appearance is generating the most controversy. Already a number of demonstrators were on scene throughout the weekend, and it is expected that as many as 10,000 demonstrators are going to be on or near the campus when he appears here in just about 5 hours' time. On Friday, I talked briefly with the Dean for the School of International Relations, which is sponsoring his appearance, John Coatsworth, and I asked him, is there anyone so repugnant that you would not extend an invitation to appear? And he said, as long as we're not at war with that person's country, the answer is no. When pressed further, I said, in 1939, would you have invited Adolf Hitler? And to give it a little context, he had already started to invade his neighbors in Europe. Everyone knew Hitler's intentions, or just about everyone knew, but the dean told me at that time Hitler would have been a welcome guest here at Columbia. Here now his words.
In 1939, if Hitler were in at the League of Nations or at some meeting in New York, the League of Nations wasn't here. If Hitler were in the United States and wanted a platform from which to speak, he would have plenty of platforms to speak in the United States. If he were willing to engage in a debate and a discussion, to be challenged by Columbia students and faculty, we would certainly invite him.
Now, the school is very clear on one point, and you heard it in the soundbite. They say they are not providing a platform to Ahmadinejad. They say he is going to be appearing in, and I quote, a classroom. They say he is going to be challenged by the students during a question and answer session. But critics, Paige, they say it is inappropriate for an Ivy League university to offer Ahmadinejad any type of invitation. Paige, back to you.
Okay, David Lee Miller, thank you. And Hillary Clinton will win the Democratic nomination, but lose the national election in 2008. That is President Bush's prediction. The revelation comes in a book due out by Bill Salmon today. In The Evangelical President, Bush says Clinton has a national presence and she has the ability to raise lots of money, but the president reportedly tells Salmon he's working hard to keep the White House occupied by a Republican. And a Maryland couple escapes unharmed after an apparent gas explosion rips through their house. The couple was sleeping on the first floor when the blast shot up from the basement. The owner of the house is still in shock.
I don't think it registered with me that the side of the house had been blown out.
And the cause of the explosion is being investigated. And there was one heck of a dogfight at Disneyland. A worker dressed as Pluto got a little carried away trying to entertain the visitors. One mother did not appreciate her son being terrorized by the oversized stuffed animal and let him know. And though Pluto gets knocked to the ground in dramatic fashion, there's no word any charges will be filed. Wow.
We gotta find out who's behind that.